What?
Trent!
Oh my god. Did you hear that ass me?
If I were Kanto Critic, what would I say right now?
Okay, that's it. What's up, all you Pokemaniacs? Sorry. You got mad at me there for a second.
No, I didn't.
You literally got mad at me.
No, I
for a
didn't.
second.
What's up? And today we are here to talk to you about...
What's up, guys? How is it going? I don't know how to start it. How do we start videos like this? What's up, guys? Sorry.
Buster! Not now!
What's up, guys? Sorry it's been so long since we've made a sit-down video. It's been probably since last October.
Since our channel began.
It's been a little while.
Just a little bit.
Just a little while.
Little smidge.
But as you can see, life happens. We've moved. I've got a new job. She's got a new job. Just so many things have been going on, and you guys know I've done YouTube for a little while, and it takes a lot out of your day-to-day life. So like just sitting down and make a video like takes a lot more time than you think throughout the day. So, but we're gonna be back for a while, hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully, yeah.
Things have finally settled down for us, so we're back in the game, back in action, ready to go. But today we wanted to talk to you about
passes.
Annual passes. Disney World annual passes. Our Disney World annual passes.
Tough stuff here.
Yes.
Tough stuff.
Yes.
We're talking about the hard issues at hand.
Yeah, truly.
And basically we're talking about our struggle in deciding on whether we're going to become annual pass holders again after last year, because last year 2020 was just so crazy and Disney was crazy, the world was crazy, and this is just basically how we came to figure out if we're going to do annual pass or not.
Yeah.
So
before we tell you whether or not that we are renewing, let's recap the past year and really almost a half that we've technically had a pass.
our dog, he's dying to play.
He's literally getting every single toy out right now.
We've tried recording this video 4 or 5 times, and every time we hit play, he'll go over there and eat and like chomp on his food, or he'll get his toys, start squeaking. But
anyways, we bought our passes back in October of 2019.
yes,
We
on
were
our honeymoon.
On our honeymoon. We got married September 2019. Yeah. And we actually had done this thing. It's a whole story in itself, but long story short, we had flew?
Your dad flew out.
We paid for my dad to fly out on our honeymoon because he can get discounted military tickets. And if you don't know what those are, and you're in the military, or you have someone in your family who's a veteran, look into them, because it was $250 for 5-day park hoppers, which is a steal.
Oh yeah, we've been doing that, kind of hacking the system in that way ever since like me and her first started dating, and when was it, 2016?
15.
15? Holy cow.
Holy gosh.
But yeah, we've been doing that for a long time, and like that's a very good option.
Yeah.
The only bad thing is it limits you to so many you can get a year, right? Is it 10 passes a year, or is it less than that?
It's 6, and the main person has to buy one. So all in all, we spent about, we bought my dad a pass too, because we weren't gonna make him pay for it. So all in all, we spent $750. But the main point here is that I miscounted when I planned our honeymoon trip, and so I don't know how it happened, but we were there a full week. We had 5 park days, and I just assumed we had like the full weeks. I don't know. So there was one day that we weren't going to get into the parks, and we realized this like midweek. And so basically what happened was, well, we'll tell the whole story another time. Let's not. But basically, we ended up buying passes that day, and it was the best day. And so we used our passes the rest of that week. We used it. I had a weekend trip with my Disney roommate, so I used mine in December at the beginning. Then we went on a Christmas trip for like 4 or 5 days, and then we used it for a long weekend in January of 2020. We had an entire spring break week planned with his brother. It was going to be the 3 of us. My sister was thinking of coming, and literally the day we were supposed to get there was the day that Disney World closed its doors, closed the gates because of COVID-19, the pandemic. So it was closed until...
My brother was devastated.
Oh, yeah.
He was so devastated.
He hasn't been in so long, and it was truly like taking a child to Disney.
Yeah. He's my older brother, too. He's not
he's not
like
little.
Young.
Yeah, Disney was closed until July?
Yeah.
Mid-July?
I thought it was like late July. Somewhere in July.
Yeah, it was late July. You're right. We couldn't go then because I'm a teacher. School was starting. It just wasn't lining up for us to go. But we did finally make it back for our anniversary weekend in September.
Yeah.
And it was hot.
Yeah, that trip was super strange in the sense of it was so different because it had just reopened, and we've been to Disney quite a few times since it's opened from the pandemic, and you could tell they were really just trying to get their footings, basically. Footings, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
And it just felt off. Like, everything just felt off to me.
That we weren't... I don't think we were expecting the heat. So you have to wear a mask, which is necessary. That's fine. It just, we live in Tennessee and it gets hot, but it wasn't Florida hot. And so just having to wear that mask in Disney, it was so hot. There really just wasn't any shade. That was hard. It was suffocating. The entertainment was gone.
And the parks closed super early too.
They were closing at like 5 and 6 that weekend, and it was...
Yeah.
And they weren't opening till 9 or 10.
But the capacity, if you enjoyed just riding the rides, it would have been fine in that sense. But like, the capacity made it where you could basically hop on any ride you wanted to. Like, the lines weren't that bad.
They weren't terrible, no.
But that was all you could do is ride rides.
Yeah, I also think like we were under the impression that for every single ride you could just hop on because it was limited capacity, and that wasn't the case for like Magic Kingdom. Magic Kingdom was always just a 40-minute or more wait. Some of the other parks were better. It was just a lot. But we went back in October and we loved it. It was a great trip. We stayed at the Polynesian. We experienced a lot of firsts, and that was a lot of fun, but still the entertainment's not back, and that was our favorite part. And the cast members were just different. Of course, there's been a lot going on with Disney and their cast members, and I think the cast members are just stressed.
Yeah.
And it's hard to make magic for other people when, first of all, you're in a pandemic and working through it, and second of all, it's hot. Third of all, you're just stressed, you know?
There was one great show that was open, though. Country Fair Jamboree, baby!
I hate that one.
They had a smile on their face the entire time. The entire time.
Jeez. We were still, so our last trip at this point was October. We were still on the fence about renewing. At this point, we both had the same jobs that we had for a while, and so, you know, same opportunities, but we were just like, there was a new atmosphere to the park, and we had some frustrations. I think one of the main ones, or at least, I don't know, maybe you weren't frustrated with it, but I really was the park reservation system for pass holders.
Yeah.
For pass holders, and I I don't know for sure if it's just regular theme park ticket holders, but for pass holders, you can only book up to 3 park days at a time. There's 4 parks. That didn't make sense to me. Why can we not book 4? Like, I understand if you let pass holders book as many days as they want, then like regular theme park ticket holders are not going to be able to get into the park. I'm not wanting to book whenever I want. I was simply wanting, like, if I'm going for a week, I want to know that I'm going to be able to get into every park, you know?
Yeah.
And so that was frustrating. Our passes were extended some. They were extended the amount of time that the park was closed plus 1 month, which was great. We were thankful for.
Yeah, for sure. But still, like, with the park reservation system and you're getting all that extra time, we paid for it. We basically got a month extra. It really didn't come out in the wash because you could only book, like Allison said, you could only book 3 days, and those park reservations were filling up so quickly. You had to book them out from when you, like, say it was August whenever you were booking your trip, and you were wanting to go in November. This is just an example. You would have to go ahead and book it, and you couldn't book another one until you went November.
Yeah.
So it was very frustrating. It's like, I don't know.
It was very similar to how fast passes worked. You couldn't book another fast pass until you used the one you had.
Yeah.
So we went in October, and then both of us got new jobs after that. And so it was just, we couldn't go at Christmas time. Our passes were set to expire on March 9th?
9th, yeah.
Yeah. And I had a trip with my mom and sister planned in January. And so I went to that. Trent stayed home. And it was super magical because it was not hot. It was a really just great trip. And I texted Trent the whole time. I was like, I cannot believe how good it feels here. This was January 2021. Things were kind of picking up a little bit at the parks. Capacity had increased, which not a big deal. But more places were opening back up. So that was another thing. In Disney World, not every restaurant was open. Like, not every merchandise place was open. You were only getting like half of what you had paid for, basically. Anyways, I digress. We didn't know if we would even get to go again before our passes ran out, but fortunately we found a weekend that we could go. It was Valentine's Day weekend, and so we flew down on a Friday and we were supposed to leave on a Monday. But that wasn't the case.
Well, I shouldn't say it was awesome. It was the humongous ice storm that came in February.
Nashville.
And, well, it hit everyone.
Oh, well, yeah, Texas got it.
Everyone in the South, everyone in the country, a lot of people got affected.
Everybody.
We're saying it's just us, but...
Except Florida.
Except Florida, yeah.
So we were stuck there. We got in on a Friday. We ended up not leaving until Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Our flight kept getting canceled, and we were stranded in Disney World. It was amazing. We got to stay with our friends Kate and Brandon, so it wasn't the worst. Like, we weren't having to hunt for a hotel room.
It was the best.
Kate and Brandon.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
it was great.
It was great. Kate and Brandon so graciously let us just keep staying in their guest bedroom. So that was fun. But
we were mooches.
We were. Thank you, Kate and Brandon. So now here we're getting, we just, going into this trip, we thought it was our last time at Disney. It's our last time at Epcot, last time at Hollywood Studios. I almost cried. I did cry on our last night in Magic Kingdom. It was on Valentine's Day, and I was so sad. And we posted the vlog a couple, I don't know, videos ago. And you could just tell our moods were just like depressed.
Yeah, we were super sad.
Yeah.
I know, because being an annual pass holder is something that I've always wanted to do, and I never thought that I would be financially able and have a job where I could take that time off, you know, and luckily we both have that now. Like, we're able to do that, and I hated to see it end, you know.
Having a pass to me was the closest thing I had that was like being on my college program again. Like just going to the parks whenever I wanted, not feeling like you were having to pay for it. You got discounts. It was just so much more magical because we never had to rush anywhere. It was just
a different vibe.
An emotional night having to say goodbye to Magic Kingdom. And this was before we knew that our flight had gotten canceled. But for sure, we got to our final last day in the park, and I forget where we even went. We went to...
We were going to Epcot.
Hollywood Studios. We were going to Epcot. We had to wait until it was 2, so we were like, let's go explore the Riviera and have a few drinks. And so this is when we like sat down. And we knew we were not going to renew. But we had not really even entertained the thought of renewing. And it was just like, we just kept getting to go to the park again and again unexpectedly, and it was just great. And so we sat down, and I don't know what brought it up. I don't know why we started talking about like...
I think I brought it up.
Maybe renewing again. And so this like was the first time that we were actually talking about like, why should we instead of why we shouldn't.
We basically sat there and did a pros and cons list.
Yeah.
And whenever we sign up for passes, that's going to be our vacation destination for the next year.
Yeah.
Like, it just is. Because
we're not going to spend that much money on something and then not, like, go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Which is kind of another reason why we didn't know if we wanted to renew them, because, like, I do want to go other places, but also, we love Disney. So we did have some hesitations. So I guess we can kind of get into, like, our pros and cons. So I guess cons first of hesitations why we didn't want to renew or didn't think we should renew. I said park reservations. I don't like the system. I don't like how it's handled. And typically we're only going on the really busy times anyways, like long weekends, spring break, fall break, and that's when the park reservations go pretty quickly. And like, I don't want to plan a whole trip and not be able to get into a park.
Yeah.
Just because they only let me book 3 at a time. So that was one hesitation I had.
Big thing for me was like I just got this new job, and I've already used quite a bit of like my PTO time, things like that.
Because of the ice storm.
Because of the ice storm, yeah. I was only supposed to use 1 day, right? Mm-hmm. Or I was supposed to use 0 days because I switched shifts around. But I got contacted my boss when we were down there, in which he knew that there was nothing we could really do. So he's like, "Hey, you got to use PTO time," it's totally fair. That's totally fair. And but I would hate to buy this annual pass. For me, it made more sense for her to go ahead and buy it.
I'm a teacher, so I have scheduled breaks. Like, I know I can go to Disney or do something this break.
But it was more of a difficult decision for me because I didn't want to buy the pass and end up only going 5 more times, which there's definitely ways. There are definitely ways we can do it. Yeah. But
and the next hesitation was just the lack of entertainment. There is a different feel to it, and I think it's important to be prepared for that before you go. I think we were fine. Like, we weren't just devastated when we got there because we had mentally prepared ourselves that it's going to be different. But there's no fireworks shows, and that's my favorite part. I don't know about you, but and like Fantasmic, Happily Ever After.
It just adds another layer to it.
Yeah, like the guy who would play piano at Casey's Corner, he's not there. Trying to think, just random. The castle show is gone. Random things that just made it feel like more than. I truly believe it's the entertainment that makes it feel like more than just a theme park. It makes it feel like a world that you're in, and that was gone.
Something as simple to like, you just don't think about it affecting you until you're there, and there are all these rules. Like, I know, for instance, we always go to Epcot and we'll just like get a drink and continue to walk around like the World Showcase. And you can't really do that because you have to sit down, which is fair. Like, I understand. Yeah, totally understandable. It should be this way. But
it's just different than.
Yeah, it's just totally different. You
and it
feel
gives
like
it a
you're
different
getting,
feel.
Yeah. In certain cases, you feel like you're getting like 75% of Disney World and not the full 100%. which
Well-
I think they're trying to get back to that 400.
Because another hesitation too was like there's still a lot of restaurants closed. Our favorite one, Ohana, still don't know when that's opening, but
Yeah.
restaurants are closed, fast passes aren't there. What else?
And don't get us wrong, like we're not complaining. They could be closed for good. You know, they could be closed right now and no one could be able to go. Like we're gonna take what we can get. It's just
These
different.
were real concerns that we had about spending money because we just didn't know if we were going to get our money's worth. Like if we spend, like all of these things are missing and the price is still the same. Parks are closing earlier, but you're still paying the same price as you did when they were open from like 8 a.m. to 2 a.m.,
Yeah.
And we just, I guess something that last year taught all of us is that you just don't know what a year can hold. And so it could go a good way, it could go mediocre way with Disney. I think it's going to go a good way. I really do. I think it's going a good way for everyone in 2021. But we just didn't know if money-wise it was worth it at this point.
Yeah.
Anything else? Hesitation-wise?
Not really.
Yeah. So basically just didn't know how many times we would get to go. Didn't know if it would be worth our money, and then, didn't just totally love all the changes or things that we didn't have anymore. But then there were some...
Now for some pros.
Yes.
I promise we're not negative Nancy's
Yeah.
all the time. We love Disney.
Yeah. But it's a huge financial decision, so you have to...
You're looking at $2,000 out of state. Like for two
Yeah.
people, I literally, it's over $2,000, right?
For us to renew, it was like $1,058 each.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. Like that's a big boy purchase right there.
So that was a lot to think about, but some reasons we wanted to renew. I think the number one thing that really pushed us to consider renewing was Disneyland canceled their annual pass holder program.
That's big.
It
Scared me.
Yeah, there has not been any kind of news about them doing that to Disney World. But the Disneyland thing kind of came out of nowhere, at least I thought, and that scared us because those who were pass holders, I truly don't really know anything about what they're doing at Disneyland with the legacy thing. But those who were pass holders kind of got grandfathered into something called the legacy holder, and I don't know what that entails, but all I knew is that if they were to cancel Orlando's annual passes, I wanted to be in the people that were grandfathered into something.
Yeah.
It was scary.
It's just very important to us. Like,
Yeah.
Disney World is just very important to us, and that's something we didn't take lightly. Like, if we knew next year that we would have the option to get passes again, because they're still not selling passes
right
now.
Yeah.
So it's
Totally
like,
forgot to say that.
you can renew, but you can't sign up to be a pass holder right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we just don't know if that was going to be an option. And how often we go to Disney, we can't afford to pay regular prices every day for a ticket because it's outrageous. It's super expensive. So
to touch on that, like the price of it, we did do the math. We ended up going over 25 park days with our passes. And so that would have equaled up to around $3,000
yeah.
if we didn't have our passes. Per person.
Yeah. So you're talking $6,000 in total versus two with passes.
So, and
2 and some change.
I have a friend that we're going soon, and he ended up paying close to like $500 for 3 park hopper tickets. And so when you think about that and you think about how much you go, it is scary to think about that you might be having to pay so much more because you chose not to renew when you could have. So that was something that was really holding us back about wanting to renew. Or I guess pushing us
and
to renew.
passes, they're not for everyone.
Mm-mm.
there's a lot of my family members that do like Disney, but it would not be worth it for them. They would buy, if they could buy 5 days in the park, that's all they're going to go to for the year. It's not worth it for them to spend $1,000.
Yeah.
It's just not, you know.
Second reason we thought about renewing was this is Disney World's 50th anniversary year, which is
50, man.
big deal. Super excited. They've already uncovered a lot of what they're doing. The castle's gonna look super cool. The theming of it just looks really cool. And so that was something too, like maybe they'll do something for pass holders, maybe not. Either way, I want to go and see it during its 50th year. Which with that, new rides were supposed to open. I don't know about Tron, if it's still opening this year.
I believe it may have got delayed, but
Ratatouille, the Ratatouille ride is opening this year, October 1st. Yeah. So that was another thing, like we would want to see it. And if we didn't have passes, then we'd be paying for theme park tickets and all that jazz. Another reason that we thought about it is because we have friends that live in Orlando. So like every time we go to Disney, we get to stay with these friends. And it's not just like we're going to Disney, we're also getting to see our friends Kate and Brandon. And so that's really important to us too. Like we were so sad just thinking about the fact that we wouldn't get to see them and hang out with them. I mean,
yeah. It's just a good excuse, you know, just to get away. Like, you get to see friends, you get to go to places you love.
And now I have family that lives like within an hour of Orlando, so Orlando just was calling us, you know.
And one thing too is where we are in Tennessee, it's like a 9.5 hour drive to Orlando.
It's easiest drive ever.
It's such an easy ride. And if we plan on going for a pretty long trip, we'll just drive, and flights are pretty cheap too.
Yeah.
And it's a very short flight, very, very doable. Just very convenient. We're at a place in the country where we can take a short weekend trip to Disney if we want, and it's still totally manageable. Or we can take a 5-day long trip.
That's true.
And passes, they just help that out even that much more, because we can be spontaneous and say like, let's go to Disney in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then we just look at the calendar, and if we can, we can, you know?
Which is what we did for our last trip.
Literally, yeah.
Okay, so with all of that being said, I guess we can tell you what decision we came to. Should we do like a drum roll, like a... I can't roll my tongue.
Cue the clip from Christmas Vacation, wherever Uncle Art's going.
Oh gosh. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You want to say it together?
You say it.
Okay. We are renewing. Actually, we renewed. We've already
Literally
got
this morning.
it. Yeah. Well, yeah, we renewed this morning, which was a good feeling.
Yeah, it was super fun.
Yeah. We literally told everyone we were not renewing. We told ourselves we were not renewing.
We're eating crow.
And here we are.
For the next year, basically.
Yeah. No.
I told all my family that I was like, I don't think we're gonna renew, because they're like not big Disney fans. Well, they like Disney okay, but they thought we were crazy when we first bought these passes. And they're like, oh, okay, well, it's probably a good decision. And here we are, you know. But bottom line is, it makes us happy, and
so back to the day at the Riviera, like we had a drink, and it finally came down to Trent was like, I was talking about other places we could go, and Trent was like, yeah, that sounds fun. And then Trent was just like, we're just the happiest when we're at Disney. And we were the happiest together when we're at Disney, when we're talking about Disney, when we're watching Disney. Like,
something about it.
Yeah. We're just the happiest together.
Yeah.
You know?
It's money well spent.
Yeah.
You know? So, you can expect to see Disney content, Disney vlogs for at least another year.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, obviously it's going to be more than a year.
Yeah.
I see us going to Disney for a very long time, hopefully. Knock on wood. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, so we already have plans. Well, I'm going this week without Trent.
Sorry.
Sorry.
She's going with our friends Abby and Pedro.
You can go. We just ran out of PTO days for the spring because of our ice storm.
I have a bachelor party I have to go to this
That's
weekend
true.
anyway, and I'm the best man, so I literally planned it, so I don't think I can get out of it. I don't think I can flake on this one, which I don't want to. But.
Yeah. I have another trip planned in August with my Disney roomies. Then we will finally go together again in October for the full week. He already has the days off.
Yep.
We're good. Hopefully stay at another deluxe hotel. I'm voting the Wilderness Lodge. He's voting Contemporary. We'll see who wins.
I'm okay with the Wilderness Lodge. It's a great. I like both of them. Honestly, Polynesian's my favorite. Like, nothing's gonna beat that for me.
Which I
we
would
stayed
love.
there last year, so
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
But now it's Moana themed, so we have to go back.
Let's just go back there then.
We need to try them all, but also like Polynesian. Yeah, so anyways, we have big plans. And we're excited for what's coming.
Super excited.
Yeah.
I do want to apologize. We do want to apologize for being so long. Life gets in the way. I'm sure you guys understand, especially in the past year. But we should be uploading a little bit more regularly, and we don't have a set schedule or anything.
We've been trying to do like once a week lately, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I guess one last thing before we go. I have linked a Google form below. If any of you guys have, below as in like, you know, the
Description.
the description box area thing.
She's a new YouTuber. Oh my god. Did you hear that, Asmi?
Anyways, I've linked a Google form below, and it's just kind of like you telling us what your favorite kind of videos are, and then if you have any funny or like cool bear. If you have any kind of video requests, video ideas, let us know, and we might do them. Even if it's like weird, skip around the entire world showcase in Epcot. Trent will do it, won't you?
For sure, yeah.
Perfect. Let us know. And
This
what
is
else?
Buster, by the way.
This is Buster. We're
Let us know in the comments below where do you think we got the name Buster from. That's the challenge.
That's the challenge. That's it. He's very upset. He's
Okay,
camera
you
shy. Aww. Anyways, thank you guys for
Yeah, thank you for watching.
watching.
And supporting us. I know we've got a lot of support on the videos lately, so it's been great. It has been great. We're super excited to see where the future takes us. So
Yeah, if you guys will give this video a thumbs up, that helps us, I think. That's what all the other YouTubers say.
That's
so, if I were Kanto Critic, what would I say right now? Okay.
just literally close it out. You're cuter than I am.
Anyways, like and subscribe. Mostly subscribe. Also like. Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.